Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of, I guess, Fallout 76 lore. I am super looking forward to the upcoming release of Fallout 76, and having looked through a lot of the presentations and interviews with the makers of Fallout 76, and also a very, very interesting documentary by a YouTube channel called NoClip about the making of Fallout 76, we have seen some very interesting facts about some of the unique monsters which are going to feature in Fallout 76. For those who don't know, Fallout 76 is going to be set in West Virginia, which is west of kind of Washington, DC. It's a kind of unique area to a Fallout game because it is a lot more rural. There are some large towns but no cities, and one of the things that comes with having a large rural area is you get a lot of folklores, and certainly Fallout 76 is no different. We don't have a exact map, or we don't have any real confirmed areas where you might find the monsters when we get into the game. Heck, we haven't even played the game yet, but using a fan-made map which was kind of selected from the documentary I spoke about, the making of Fallout 76, we can kind of ascertain from the folklores of West Virginia where some of these monsters might appear, and we have seen a couple of images of them from the game, so I'll include that when we talk about them in there. So the first one I wanted to talk about is the Mothman, or Mothman. This is probably the most famous of the West Virginian folklore monsters. There was a film about it in 2002 starring Richard Gere, and I think the film was very good though, so might want to avoid that. But since 1966 it's been, you know, one of those kind of fairly regularly cited monsters. So apparently in November the 12th, 1966, 5 men were digging at a grave at a cemetery in Clendenin, West Virginia, claimed to see a man-like figure flying low from the trees over their heads. So that's what is thought of being the first sighting of the Mothman. Shortly after that, 2 young couples from Point Pleasant told police they saw a large grey creature whose eyes glowed red when the car's headlights picked it up. They described it as a large flying man with 10-foot wings, following their car while they were driving in an area outside of town known as the TNT area, the site of a former World War II munitions plant. During the next few days, other people reported similar sightings. 2 volunteer firemen saw it. Said it was a large bird with red eyes. Mason County Sheriff George Johnson commented that he believed the sightings were due to a unusually large heron he termed a shite poke. That's a good name. Yeah, so there were many kind of more sightings. We don't know too much about the Mothman that's going to feature in Fallout 76, but we know that the team seem very excited by it, and they've said that it's going to be a very, very unique monster with its own particular mannerisms, and they said that perhaps when you first see it you'll just see the red eyes glowing, and perhaps it will kind of stalk you a little bit as you go around. So yeah, very, very interesting. Traditionally, it's seen around the Point Pleasant area of West Virginia, which, if we look on the map, is kind of just southwest of Vault 76, so not too far away from where you first kind of come out of the vault. Now this, obviously, we don't know if there are going to be level requirements or anything like that for it to unlock, or we don't know anything like that, but certainly it's kind of quite exciting that, you know, there could be this monster stalking you from, you know, perhaps the moments you come out from the from the vault. Interesting. So yeah, maybe it's a heron, maybe it's real, who knows. The second one we want to talk about is the Snarly Yow. So apparently this creature roams the mountains near Harper's Ferry, which is a confirmed location. We definitely know that that's in Fallout 76. So they're saying it could possibly have been there since the 1700s, since the first Germans settled in Potomac Valley. Its evocative name is derived from Germanic words that describe a whale that emanates from a toothy mouth. Some who have encountered the dog-like beast claim to have shot it. A motorist near Boonesboro, Maryland, claims to have run over the monster only to see it standing and raging defiantly in his rearview mirror afterwards. Others alleged to have seen it standing on its hind legs. Similar to the tales of old German settlers, Snarly Yow is said to appear out of thin air, to change its size, to disappear instantly. According to legends, the beast lurks along old main roads into towns, challenging travellers along the way. It is encountered most often in the area of Blue Ridge and South Mountain in Maryland, Virginia and West Virginia. We think we've seen like a kind of picture of this within the game, potentially. The Snarly Yow. It's got a cool name, definitely. And it's, yeah, kind of a distinctive kind of dog-like kind of creature. Anybody who knows, like, dogs in computer games can often be pretty scary because they're very quick. So yeah, maybe you'll find it along the roads. It's said to be able to kind of perhaps teleport, disappear instantly, so maybe there's going to be something in that. Maybe it could disappear and come up behind you. So yeah, interesting. Again, we don't know the confirmed location of it, but Harper's Ferry is across the right hand side of the map. So maybe it could be a slightly higher level. We don't know. The next one I'd like to talk about is the Flatwoods Monster, also known as the Green Monster, the Phantom of Flatwoods, and the Braxton County Monster. The Flatwoods Monster is assumed to have been extraterrestrial by those who tell tales that spread wildly along the upper Elk River in the 1950s. The monster legend began in 1952 after a group of children watched a UFO crash behind a hill near the town of Flatwoods, West Virginia. Armed only with courage, they and a local hairdresser scouted the woods above the town, where they discovered what they believed to be a crash site and encountered what some assumed to have been the lone survivor of the crash, a towering alien that moved nefariously towards the group. The monster was described as having green skin, a reptilian head and long, thin arms. It is apparently legless and floats upon a device that allows it to glide across the ground. Various illnesses have been blamed on the monster and the sulphurous fumes said to have emanated from the crash site. Subsequent sightings have all been placed in or around the area near Sutton, West Virginia. Yeah, so we've kind of got something a bit more extraterrestrial. We know that in Fallout games there has been aliens within them. In Fallout 4 there's a small UFO crash site. In Fallout 3 there's a whole DLC dedicated to it, and we actually saw some concept art within the making of video as well, which I'll put a picture up for you. And as you can see, it reminds me of something from XCOM or something like that. It looks very, very cool. So yeah, that looks super interested. So we know that that's most likely going to be within the game, within there. Next we have the White Thing, also known as the White Creature. This monster of the mountains that rise along the lower Kanawha Valley has been described as being as large as a bear, though shaped like a dog. Its saber-like fangs extend from a ravenous mouth, and the beast is covered in filthy white woolly fur. First entered the Annals of Folklore in 1965 in the book The Telltale Lilac Bush and Other West Virginian Ghost Tales, a collection of stories compiled by Ruth and Music, a folklorist. Music proposed that such beasts appeared to be both phantom and physical. Its front limbs are similar to that of a raccoon, but are larger. Its head sprouts horns like those of a goat, and has a long tail not unlike that of a raccoon. A stench of sulphur surrounds it. The creature has been seen racing through the woods and scurrying down riverbanks to drink. Some witnesses claim to have seen it standing on its hind legs like a bear. Others say it has 4 eyes. Others have heard it scream. Yes, very interesting. We believe as well that we've seen a kind of picture of it in there potentially, but nothing that really quite lives up to the description of the kind of raccoon tail and goat horns and stuff like that. So I put a picture up of what we think could possibly be it, but this could be something which we have yet to actually come across, so have to kind of look out for that. The last one is something we definitely know is in the game because we've seen it and it's been labelled, which is the Grafton monster. Formerly a railroad boomtown, Grafton, West Virginia today seems somewhat an anomaly, a village of big city architecture, locked in a territory of small farms and dense woodlands. Through these woodlands, prowls a monster, some say. The legend of the Grafton monster has endured since the 1960s, when sightings were at their peak. The man-like beast is said to be akin to a Bigfoot or skunk ape. According to the book Monsters of West Virginia, it's actually got its own book, that's cool. Eyewitnesses have estimated that it stands between 7 and 9 feet tall, is cloaked in pale skin, and that is slick like that of a seal. Some say it's also headless, and certainly the pictures that we've seen in Fallout 4 Fallout 76, sorry, seem to suggest that they're going with a headless monster. Although recordings on night vision equipment seem to show otherwise, hazy images captured during an instance of spooked cattle and detailed in the television show Mountain Monsters reveal a very tall creature moving quickly through the tree line. What others might have mistaken for a headless creature appears to be more like a skulking monster, its head tucked close to its chest. Some say it lets out a low whistle as it stalks its prey. As the creature is thought to be a meat-eater, you'd best be on your way. I like that. So there's some of the potential and definite monsters which we are going to see within Fallout 76. I personally love the fact that they are using the folklore of West Virginia to create these mutated creatures within the area. It's something which seems to be a big focal point and possibly helped them to decide that West Virginia was the place they wanted to make the game. And it just makes me more and more excited to actually get my hands on this game, play through it, and find out what is going to actually await us, because I'm sure there'll be many more as well along the way. Let me know which monster you're most looking forward to seeing, or if there's one which you think might be in there which we haven't mentioned as well. I'm always interested to know. But till next time, guys, thank you so much for watching, and be careful out there, and make sure you take a friend with you as well. See you soon.